What's happening, guys? Filament Forge here. In this video I'm going to show you how I 3D print, paint and add fabric to this HellBoy model. Okay guys, all the parts are finished printing and I've already gone in and removed all the support material. I then applied some body filler to the rough spots. I then sanded it with 120 grit sandpaper. Now all those parts are ready for priming, but before I can do that I need to glue the head on. But before I could glue the head on, I had to apply the leather around the collar, and all I did to do that was I applied double-sided tape to one side, stuck it all on, and then went around the outline with a sharp knife. So all I got to do now is glue the head on. Okay guys, I'm finished with the head now. Now I'm going to move on to the upper part of the coat. Now what I've done is I've got a piece of dishcloth and I traced around the back part of the coat, and I've got 3 pieces here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trace those 3 pieces onto this piece of aged leather fabric that I've got, and I'll put a link in the description for all these fabrics that I'm going to be using. Okay guys, the top part of the coat's now finished. There are a few little bits that need touching up later, but I'm going to move on to the lower part of the coat now. Now to do the lower part, I'm going to have to remove the tail. Now I should have done this in Mesh Mixer before I printed the model, but it was only afterwards that I had the idea to add fabric. So what I'm going to use is a hacksaw blade, and I'm just going to cut the tail halfway, and then it's also attached to the rest of the model at the top there. Okay guys, I managed to get the tail off. It created a little bit of damage, but nothing I can't fix. I'll just apply a little bit of body filler to the damaged areas and glue it back on. So the next part is to make a template for the bottom part of the coat, and I'm just going to use a dishcloth again. Okay guys, I'm finished with the tail for now. I'll get it primed later. So I'm going to move on to the belt next. Now what I've done is I've traced around the belt with masking tape. Now what I'll do is I'll transfer the masking tape to some leftover bits of leather I've got, and I'll cut it out and get it glued on. Now I apologise if I'm not explaining what I'm doing very well. I'm basically just making it up as I go, and I'm trying to show you the best I can. So I'll get cracking with this next part. Okay guys, I'm ready to start getting some primer done now. I've masking taped up all the areas that I've added fabric, and that's only left a very small amount of area to prime on the main part of the body. And on the arms, I've put them on a mixing stick, so I don't have to touch them while I'm spray painting them, but I can also just spin them around and get all sides. I'm going to be giving them all 3 coats of this high build primer. Okay guys, to finish the base off, I'm going to go with a cracked effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it 2 coats with red, and then once that's partially dried, I'm going to go over it with Montana crackle effect in black and see how it looks. Okay guys, while the base is drying, I'm going to move on to the arms. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a base coat of VALLEJO Game Air Black. Okay guys, the next colour I'm going to use is red terracotta. I'm going to lightly go over the entire thing, but avoiding the deep crevices. Okay guys, next up is I'm going to add some highlights to it. Now I've already got the red terracotta still in my airbrush. I've added about 7 drops of just plain red. Okay guys, the right hand of doom is now done. I noticed on camera that it was showing up a lot darker than what it actually is. I don't know if it's just the lighting, but it is actually quite a lot lighter. But I'm going to move on to the other arm now. I'm going to start by doing a little bit of arm that's showing with red terracotta first, and then I will do fire red. Okay guys, the base is now dry and it turned out amazing. Really happy with it. It's probably my favourite part so far of the entire build. The crackle effect just looks so good. So to finish it off, I'm just going to go over the top parts in metallic gold, and that's the brand I'm going to be using. Okay guys, so I was going to go with metallic gold on top, but it's just not going on very well. It's super thin. It's going to take me, I don't know, about probably 5 coats maybe to get good coverage. I even tried a different brand. I tried this one plus a VALLEJO gold as well, and they were all the same. They just weren't going on very well. So I'm going to go with metallic silver instead. I've already tested it and it goes on okay. Okay guys, we're ready to start getting some colour on the body. I'm going to start on all the flesh areas, and I'm going to give it a base coat of whole red. Okay guys, I got 3 coats of whole red on, and it's gone on really nicely. Now I've loaded up my airbrush with white, and what I'm going to do now is just highlight certain areas like the tops of the horns, the top of the head, tops of the chest, avoiding any of the darker crevice areas. Okay guys, I've got the white highlight areas done. Now I've loaded up my airbrush with just normal VALLEJO red, and I'm just going to give it probably 2 coats, and all the areas that are white should be a brighter red, and I'm just going to try and avoid the darker areas. Okay guys, I've got the red on and it's starting to look quite good now. I've mixed up black and red together to just do some light shading. Then once I've done that, I'll just go back over it with just normal red to blend it out a little bit. Okay guys, time to get some details done on the face. I'm going to start on the horns, and I'm going to go over them with a VALLEJO gloss varnish to give them a nice shine, and then I'll do the hair in black and his eyes in a bright yellow, and then I'll just do his cigar in like a brown colour. Okay guys, there's not much left to do now. All I've got to do is glue the arms on. And what I've done is I've glued on some foam right where the arms go, just to give them a nice flat contact point. And I've also weathered the leather with a light brown wash, and then I've roughed it up with some sandpaper. So I'm just going to get these glued on now. Okay guys, last thing I got to sort out is above the shoulders. Now there's a piece of fabric that goes over top here, so that's why I wasn't too bothered about the fabric not joining each other here. So I've already got it cut out, so I'm just going to get it stuck on. Okay guys, he's finished. I think he turned out great. Really happy with the fabric I added. It helps bring the model to life more. The crackle effect base is just awesome. It looks so good. It's perfect for this model. My two favourite parts are the base and the horns. I think they really stand out well. The hardest part of the build was adding the fabric. There was a lot of trial and error trying to get it to fit, and about halfway through I did think of giving up and just painting it, but I'm glad I persevered and got it to fit because it just looks really good. Now to paint it I used all VALLEJO paints, and I'll leave a list of them in the description so you can use the same if it helps. And there's also a link in the description to the fabric I used. Now this model is by Printed Obsession on My Mini Factory, and there's a link down below to the STL. You should check this guy out, he's got some awesome models. I've got my eye on 3 of them. That's Iron Man, Darth Vader and Darth Maul. I can't wait to get them printed. If you have any questions, then leave them below and I'll try and get back to you. And if you've got any suggestions for anything I could have done better, I'd be happy to hear them. Please give this video a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next build. Thanks for watching.